On today's show, an outdoor photographer carves himself a new reputation. Layne Kennedy makes headlines working a lathe. Dedicated Minnesota duck hunters get a helping hand from a few very capable partners. And we help you get started calling in a few geese.
Minnesota Bound, presented by Connecticut Water Treatment Systems.
Hi everybody, Bill and I welcome you to Minnesota Bound.
Up first today, the story of a true Minnesota artist, a fella by the name of Layne Kennedy.
Layne has a keen eye for outdoor photography, and now his creative hands have him carving a new reputation. They say one who works with their hands is a craftsman. Yet one who works with their hands, eyes, and heart is an artist.
See how she's nice and smooth? Nothing major work, but look at that chatoyance.
Layne Kennedy defines the word artist.
And it's just spectacular.
An editorial photographer by trade, wood bowl carver on the side. He looks at ordinary nature and turns it into extraordinary art.
Well, nature lures me in because it has so much life involved with it, as well as it's the natural designs of nature. I mean, nature offers things that you can't buy.
His talents behind the camera have led him all over the world for 30+ years, working for National Geographic Society, Smithsonian, and many more. But his favorite place to capture? Minnesota, of course.
Yeah, I'm attracted to Minnesota because of the seasons. I like 4 distinct seasons. Growing up in Alaska, it became part of who I was, and I am one of those people, when I see the temperature's going to be 30 below, I get excited about it. I think more than anything, one of the most attractive subjects for me has always been ice. I love ice. The glacial blue is my favorite color on the planet. I just love that color. And we can get some of that during certain times on the North Shore.
His artistry takes more than a keen eye.
And every photographer has different tools that way. You know, mine has always been one of 2 things. One, I like motion in my work, and I like the perspective of aerials to my work.
In true artist form, when he's not holding a camera, he's holding wood bowls.
I'm trying to make it as smooth as I can. Bowl turning for me was art therapy, plain and simple. When I learned to turn bowls, there's something very emotional and interesting in working with something that's tactile. You feel the wood, you're using a different sense, your hands, your fingers, your ears, your vision on how a bowl is turned and where it comes from the tree.
Instead of cutting down trees for wood, Layne hunts down storm-damaged trees to make his bowls.
And anybody that's lost a tree goes, wow, the light in my yard has really changed, and you miss that tree. Well, now it's kind of gotten its own reincarnation, you know, and now it's going to be something else. And you'll be able to see it and hold that same tree every day.
Today, after hundreds of miles traveled, thousands of photographs taken, and dozens of bowls turned, makes you wonder.
But that's it.
Does it get old?
Now it's got to dry for 3 to 6 months. There's always something to photograph. You know, I hear blizzards coming, I'm going, yes! I can't wait to get out there. See a 110-degree day, man, you head to the lakes and look at all the images you can get of people enjoying the water in Minnesota. So it never ends. It just never ends. And so if it never ends, well, then you can't stop. Bowl turning's no different. Continues to motivate you. And so you look around here now, you can see I must be pretty motivated because I can't get rid of this wood.
Minnesota Bound is brought to you by Connecticut Water Treatment Systems, Strike Master, Ice Castle Fish House and RV, and by the Florida Keys and Key West.
Up next, we head to the Duck Marsh, where Travis Frank met a group of hunters who go above and beyond to make sure new friends never miss a shot.
Hours before sunrise on a cool November day, a passionate group of duck hunters prepare for the morning flight.
So far, this year's been our best year that I've ever had.
Darren Dorn hunts ducks every chance he gets.
I've been hunting since I was 13 years old.
His friend Stan Koich has been hunting even longer. But these two can't reach the duck blind on their own.
There's always that thing where people always say something happens to them, a life-changing thing, and they say, I can't do that. No, we can prove you wrong. You can do whatever your mind tells you can do.
With that positive attitude and helpful friends, they roll wheelchairs through a muddy marsh.
Probably about 100 yards right on the edge of the swamp.
This dedication sums up the mission at Capable Partners.
If you want to do it, we've done it, we know how to do it, and we can get almost anybody out here.
Capable Partners is a nonprofit organization that makes the outdoors accessible for the physically challenged.
It's getting people with disabilities in the outdoors. Things they used to do or just would like to do.
Things like hunt for wild birds in wild places.
We made it.
We got them down here. I think that's a win altogether.
Bird alert, bird alert.
Mile and a half high.
Today's hunt takes place on the Minnesota Valley National Wildlife Refuge.
The Minnesota Valley Refuge itself is about 14,000 total acres. It runs from Bloomington, Minnesota, all the way down to Henderson.
Park rangers give Capable Partners access to hunt a section of this river bottom floodplain.
It's to provide opportunities to those that might not have easy access to hunting and fishing out in public lands such as this.
There's a duck.
One of the biggest challenges with duck hunting, as you know, is the competition. So beating the other guys to the launch, the spots, things like that. Having access to this location eliminates that.
Even here, luring migrating ducks into range isn't a guarantee.
I mean, it was low like it was going to come this way, and then it turned the other way.
This is definitely a real hunt.
That's why Stan values these opportunities so much.
I was in a car accident right after I graduated from college. Spinal cord injury. That changed things.
I had a car accident in 2002 and swerved to miss a deer. I hit broke down telephone pole and it flipped my truck around, threw me out of it and severed my spinal cord. The T9 is where my injury is, so I'm considered a paraplegic. But still here. Do everything I used to do, I just gotta do it on 4 wheels now instead of 2 feet. If it wasn't for these guys, we wouldn't be where we are today. I mean, I consider the people in Capable Partners as the family.
A family that Darren now leads by organizing outings for others faced with similar challenges.
I have a passion for helping people. I just like doing it.
We missed.
Terrible shooting.
These are my hunting buddies. This is an important time and an important place, and anybody that shares it with me, they're important people in my life.
Thanks to the helping hands from Capable Partners, the great outdoors have no obstacles.
They're young and they're strong. I hope they stay young and strong for a long time so we can keep hunting.
Still ahead, a classic story all about Ducks Unlimited's ducky history. But first, a noisy attempt to help teach you how to call in geese.
Closed captioning provided by Star Bank.
Waterfowl season is upon us, and if you want to have success hunting geese, well, you need to sound like a goose. I'm hanging out at DRC Call Company, home of the National Goose Calling Champion, also known as the Goose Wizard, to show us how to get started goose calling. Follow me. Hey, Corey.
Hey, welcome to the DRC Call Shop.
Thank you for having us today. I am so excited to learn how to call in a goose, and I came to the right place because you are a national goose calling champion.
Let's get started.
All right, well, what are the first steps?
We need to pick out a goose call that's easy to blow and easy to learn on. This is the life sentence. This is a good starter call because of the longer mouthpiece right here. It stabilizes the air before it gets to the reed, and then the longer insert is going to match that big, deep honker tone like our Minnesota resident birds that we have for this early Minnesota goose season. This is the call that we're going to want to get started on.
I'm a little nervous because this is almost like a musical instrument. You have to learn how to speak their language, so...
Well, let's get started. I'll help you out.
Oh my goodness, a Minnesota-bound goose call? Now I know I'm going to have success in the field. Where do we start?
The logo is on the mouthpiece. So here's the mouthpiece right here. We're gonna blow into this end, and this is the insert right here. So the two main fundamentals are air presentation on this end, and then your hand placement, and that's gonna help the call break over when we apply pressure to the front side of the call here. So you got a big kind of open pocket with your hands, yep, just like that. And now that's gonna give it that hollow tone, that hollow honker tone.
Okay.
So now we're gonna apply a little bit of air into the front side of the call, and this is kind of where it gets tricky. This is where we're gonna make some noise. So try to say, if you were to make a word for it, it would be like who-wit, or hit, or to-wit, who-wit, wit. Try that.
I'm sure that was almost close.
It was really close.
It's terrible, it's terrible.
No roll in your tongue. There you go. You're getting it.
I got some work.
You're getting it.
Practice tonight, and I'm going to meet you in the field tomorrow morning.
All right, 5 a.m. Don't be late.
I won't be late. I'll have my goose call ready to roll. All right, all the decoys set up. Looks pretty good.
All right, let's jump in the tiki blind and give her a whirl.
All right.
Getting there. A little harder on that second note to get it to break over. Yeah, just like that. Ooh, there you go. Yeah, there's a double cluck in there. Team calling in the blind is really important, so if you can just do some of the basic notes and add into the sound that everyone else is making, then you're gonna help out.
You're gonna help out? You won't chase them away?
No, you won't scare them away.
Okay. Oh my gosh. We did it!
We got him!
Thank you so much for helping me today.
Absolutely.
It was so much fun.
My pleasure.
Apparently I need to keep practicing.
You bet.
Keep practicing if you want to have a successful goose hunt. But most important, make sure you try something new and get outdoors.
We got a couple geese coming out right over here. Let's give them a whirl.
Here we go, guys.
Straight ahead, a conservation story all about protecting ducks and ducky habitat.
Minnesota Bound is brought to you by Heat Hog, Radco Truck Accessories, and by Totem Resorts, the premier destination for world-class fishing.
Today's Minnesota Bound Classic takes Ron Shera back to the year 2000, to the day he decided to find out what Ducks Unlimited is all about.
For as long as we've been hunters, for as long as we've craned our necks to search an autumn sky, our spirits soar at the sight of ducks over a marsh or geese filling the air. It has always been so. Yet today on the wings of waterfowl flies a lesson we cannot forget and a story we can be proud to tell. It's a story born in the Dust Bowl days of the late 1930s, when neither man nor beast nor fowl had enough water to survive. It's a story that shows what happens when people who care about waterfowl are willing to make a difference. It's the story of Ducks Unlimited. First chapter, 1937.
First group of people that formed Ducks Unlimited were a small group of sportsmen, primarily from New York and the East Coast area. They got together and decided to do something, and they did it in a unique way. A lot of organizations in the U.S. that formed at that time were national organizations. Ducks Unlimited was formed as an international organization to raise money in the United States and go to Canada and do habitat restoration projects.
Using bulldozers and pipes, the same tools used to drain duck-producing wetlands, the first DU project, a place called Big Grass Marsh in Manitoba, Canada, was restored with water. The goal of Ducks Unlimited was to raise money to preserve the birds' habitat. It's a goal that hasn't changed in 65 years.
It's been very amazing. It took the DU volunteers a long time to raise the first $1 million.
140! Sold $140.
A DU banquet offers pretty deals.
120, thank you. Now.
And a pretty sense that together these folks, mostly duck hunters, can make a difference. Every year, Minnesota DU members donate upwards of $4 million to the cause.
And I think that they come here because they know we do a good job with our money, and I think they really do believe in what we're after, and that's to conserve wildlife and conserve the properties for the future generations.
While the distance between a hotel banquet room and a duck marsh might seem like a long stretch, the money does get there.
The issues facing ducks are fundamentally the same as they've been from the start, and that's habitat. Habitat. Everything that the birds do at all phases of the year are influenced by the places that they live.
Understanding a duck's life is also important. Exactly what are a hen duck's habitat requirements? To learn that, DU sends researchers afield.
Ducks Unlimited and our members are highly motivated by waterfowl because many of our members hunt. But at the end of the day, these birds are just part of the total environment that we really have to look after if we're going to continue to live in this world.
Here it goes now. Watch it go.
Like the song of a DU banquet auctioneer,
sold $500.
The final word is sold. DU members are sold on their mission. Ducks Unlimited.
From the very beginning of the creation of Ducks Unlimited, there was a singleness of purpose, we've always called it. And the purpose for Ducks Unlimited has been habitat for waterfowl. That's still our purpose. It always has been, and we think it probably always will be.
Ducks Unlimited still going strong today. Good job.
With so many amazing projects. Well, that about does it for us. We'll see you back here next week.
In the meantime, don't forget to introduce a kid to the great outdoors.
Transportation provided by Premier Transportation. Call 1-800-899-7433.